Good evening, my loves. Welcome to Friday's Late Night Live. You know how we do every Friday. It is Q&A. So I take all of the questions that have been submitted and I answer them live. And if you are live with me following along, you can also feel free to submit your questions in the chat. So let's go ahead and get into it. Tonight's live is going to be social media and unplugging Q&A based. I did get a couple of questions before I put out the specifics of the Q&A. So I do have a couple of other questions that have nothing to do with social media. But as I promised, if you submit them to me before Friday at 8 o'clock, they get into that week's live. So you all know I'm a relationship kind of girl and I like consistent support and commitment. So that means don't be over here shacking up, just visiting and can't commit. So make sure that no matter where you are watching, you are subscribed to my Destination Deanna YouTube channel and you are following me on all social media platforms. Okay, let's grow the love attraction community because the more love that we draw in, the more we're going to attract to ourselves. So let's grow the family. And let's see, I already got people weighing in. Hey, Pamela. You're so sweet. I'm so glad you're here. And Facebook user said, hi, love. So hi, love. I'm sorry. You have to grant StreamYard permission in order for me to be able to see your name. But I'm sending you love. Thank you for being here. So before we get into the Q&A, I did want to just do a quick recap of some statistics because when it comes to social media, like there's a lot going into this and there's serious repercussions and serious like backlash and things like that. And we got to be prepared. If we're talking about love here, we want to create the environment that love can reside in easily, right? So here are a few statistics that I became aware of just recently, and I wanted to share them. So for my marrieds and engaged people, online affairs cause 1/3 of divorces. That's a huge number. And that gives us more and more reason to be mindful about our social media usage. If you are dating and in a relationship, 25% of couples fight about Facebook one time a week. I was like, yo, that's crazy. 25% of couples, that's 1 in every 4. So there's reason why we got to have these conversations. And then the final one, parents. 39% of kids wish their parents would use their phone less. This really hit me. Like, I'm pretty mindful about my phone usage when I'm around my kids, but seeing this made me focus even more. So now I have dedicated hours where when my kids are awake, my phone is only being utilized to like answer phone calls. I'm not on social media. I'm not doing anything like that while my kids are awake and they require my attention, right? So those are a few of the statistics around, social media usage and all of that. And make sure you go back and take a look at my video from Monday, Unplugging, where we talked about unplugging, and you can review the benefits of unplugging there. There were 4 of them that I went over in detail. So make sure that you take a look there. So let's go ahead and get into the questions. I'm going to just do them in the order that I received them. So the first few, I think, have nothing to do with social media, but they're good questions nonetheless. I see a comment coming in. Oh, hey, Jackie. So the first question is a long one. When you're transitioning from losing to finding yourself, when do you start checking off things you wanted to do but was held back from doing? Do I really have to wait for a divorce? Oh, my love, my love. My heart goes out to you as a person that um is going through the divorce process. I'm, you know, a hop, skip, and a jump away from final. So thank God. Um, I feel your pain, and I just want to send you some loving energy because it's not easy. But I would say when you're transitioning from losing to finding yourself, I do think it's important for you to be real with yourself about the things that you were held back from. Maybe keep a list of them and maybe see which ones you can start checking off that will not cause any disruption, right? So you want to be mindful. I wouldn't necessarily recommend kind of dating too soon because usually people can't handle that and it can make the divorce more difficult. I mean, I'm kind of going through that. I had been separated for a while. Even as we were living together, we were living separate lives. And I didn't start dating right away, but my ex was not over it. It caused a definite rift. It made co-parenting hard, and it definitely impacted my divorce proceedings. So I don't necessarily recommend that, but I just have to be honest. When you've been in a situation where you have not felt love, you have not felt peace, it's kind of hard to just kind of suffer through. So I would say prioritize your self-care. Prioritize all the things that you can do for yourself that don't involve another person, that wouldn't invite any other energy, that wouldn't invite more drama or strife, because that's the last thing you are going to need while you are going through a divorce. I would say prepare for your divorce. Prepare for that so you can get that over as quickly as possible. Um, and I will be praying for you. That's a good idea. I don't know what I said where you said it was a good idea, but I'm glad. Hey, Monet, thank you so much for being here. So that was the first question. Ooh, that was a doozy. That was the first question. Let's go ahead and get into the second one. So the second one was, what is your favorite prompt in your love attraction journal and why? Oh, this is like when people ask you who's your favorite kid. Like, it depends. It changes daily. Like, whoever's doing what I want that day, they're my fave. But journal prompts, there's so many in there that I love. But if I had to choose something, it's the final prompt. And it involves you kind of recapping everything you've learned. I don't want to give too much away because you need to have the journal to know. But it's the final prompt. And it involves kind of a recap of the entire process in your visualization for the future. So I love celebrating completions of things and looking forward to the future. So that's why it would be my favorite. Like, even while you're going through the process of the journal, there are going to be many times where you cry. You have like these mental breakdowns and breakthroughs because it's a lot of, emotional things that are coming up. But the end, it's such a beautiful way to end the process. That's why it's my favorite. So if you want to know what that prompt is, go ahead and get my journal. Go to destinationdiana.com, get the journal because it's you got 3 more hours to get it at $40. So go ahead and do that. Make a list. Yes. Cool. So I said in the previous question, make a list of the things that you've missed out on. So do that. All right. And let's get to the next question. Do you feel there are rules of engagement when it comes to the opposite sex? What are yours? And this is specifically around social media. Like everything else, I think it is dependent on the couple. So I think that each couple should be extremely honest. Like, now is not the time to act like you're super unbothered or you're just super comfortable. Don't misrepresent how you really feel about social media, boundaries, what's appropriate. You should have an in-depth conversation about what's appropriate, what's not. What do you expect? What are you guys sharing? Is there tagging? Um, are you okay with, following exes? Like, are you okay with inboxing? Like, all of that stuff should be discussed. And I think mutual boundaries should be set up. Mutual. Mutual meaning you both agree on them and you both uphold them. So there's no, he can do this and I can't, unless you have very specific and different roles regarding social media. Like, I know couples where one person has social media and the other one doesn't. And that's kind of how they manage it. Like, the other one just doesn't. So the one who doesn't, just doesn't care. They're not really into it. They're not checking behind none of that. They kind of just have a trust policy. You have it, manage it appropriately. If I want to see it, I'll ask. And that's kind of it. There are other people where, they're very upfront about their relationship. They tag their spouse in their description box. They are always tagging them in photos, doing, dual posts and things like that. And that works for them. So, the rules of engagement should be based on your conversation around comfortability, appropriateness, and boundaries, and whatever you all agree to. What are mine? I'm not going to share everything because that's personal between me and my fiance, but I will share some of the things that I think are kind of unique. So I have social media mostly as a means for business, right? I did have personal pages way back when Facebook was first starting off and you needed a college email to have one. That was personal. But when I became a rap artist, almost everything that I had revolved around being an artist. And now that I'm an author, a love attraction expert and coach, that's what my social media is for. Anything that I'm sharing, it is for the purpose of allowing people to know me better, to build trust in who I am as a coach, as a teacher, and as a brand. So there may be people who know me personally, and occasionally, you'll see some personal banter, but 90% of the time, anything I'm doing on social media is related to my brand, me as a coach, me as an author. My fiance doesn't really have social media like that. He may have a page, but he uses it to motivate people. He doesn't even really share pictures of himself like that. And he was like that before I met him. So his social media usage is like a small percentage of mine. So we use it differently. So we govern our relationship according to how we use it. We have our own boundaries. I'll put it like that. So that's my recommendation. Each couple should do what is comfortable for them. And you should be able to have these open conversations. And just because you agreed on something yesterday, if things change, you should be able to have follow-up conversations and discuss them. I'm sorry, there's comments coming in and I am not even saying anything. Live in the time of social media. That's definitely a discussion I'd have to have with my significant other. Absolutely. I'm sorry I can't see who you are, but I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, my love. It's definitely worth a discussion. I think everybody should have the discussion, even if it is, hey, social media is not a part of our relationship. We don't share stuff on there. You're you, I'm me, never the two shall meet. That's how some people carry it. And I don't think anyone else should be the authority on what is appropriate, right? Because we're all individual people and we have the opportunity to build our relationships, craft them however we like. So I say do what's comfortable to you, but be honest about that. Yeah, I feel like I have Facebook for fam, IG for moments, Snapchat XOXOL. That's funny. I do different things on my different social media platforms as well. You know, um, on Facebook, because I actually do have a lot more people that know me in person that have been supporting me since college or since my rap career. They actually know me. So, they may ask about my kids or they may say something personal from years back. You'll see me share a little bit more personally, especially like within my love attraction community. Now, those are my specific people who want to be, in my little love attraction vortex. So I share more of me personally within that group. IG, it's all about my reels. It's all about, making videos and things for people to go back and watch, educate them on love attraction, power partners, all of that. And promoting, my books, my journals, my services, my coaching. That's really what IG is about. Oh, it's Kala. Hey, Kala. Um, so yeah, that's what that's about. All right. What advice would you give couples about posting on social media? Should you share pics of your spouse? Should you tag them? Um, Again, I think this is based on the couple, but I would say in general, this is a general answer. So apply it how you need to according to your comfortability in your relationship. But um if it's going to be all about your spouse, like y'all should have a couple page. Y'all should have a couple page. It's your social media. People know you, they're there for you. So, your spouse is a part of your life, but they're not everything. So I would say everything within moderation. And, my tip is in my previous marriage, we were very public because both of us did music and we had fan bases. A lot of our fan bases intertwined because we were known in the Baltimore hip hop community. So a lot of people knew us individually anyway. So kind of by default, we shared a lot. Um, it was beautiful for the support, but it also was a little bit more difficult when we were separating. Not because anyone was disrespectful, they were not, but like anyone, they would be curious about why. We were very careful. We never bashed each other online. We weren't sharing like negative aspects of our relationship or marriage. We kept that private. So naturally, us separating surprised a lot of people because they just thought we were a picture perfect couple. And as they should, no one should know the inner workings of your marriage. No one should know what you're fighting about. No one should know what you're struggling with. That is very personal. But I'm saying if you share a lot about your spouse, people become very invested in your relationship. So just be prepared for if it doesn't work out, there may be a lot of questions. Monet said, good question. Yes, it is. So there may be a lot of questions about that. So I would say I'm always a fan of, you can publicly acknowledge your spouse, but you should still keep some things private. So as for me, like anyone in my love attraction community knows who my fiance is. They know because I've shared it within there. That is a private community that I monitor. And I share more of myself with my community. However, in the public on my social media pages, I have not shared a photo of him. I don't want people to be so caught up on that. I want them to think more about the relationship in general and not the person. As well as the fact we were both dealing with, previous spouses that are taking it more difficultly, that we're moving on, if that makes sense. I'm trying to be very respectful because people's feelings are involved. and never want to dishonor his past spouse or mine. We're being respectful about it. So we don't really post each other publicly, but we do share what we're doing, where we're going, how much we care about the person we're with. Once we're married, I'll give you a glimpse. I like it. I like that. It makes sense. Yep. So my advice is, you can be public without bearing all. Your spouse doesn't have to be a secret, but, keep some things to yourself. And remember that as much as you share, that's how invested people will be in your relationship, and they will want more. So just be careful. Be careful about that. So that's all the questions that were submitted to me this week. Anyone that is live, that's following on the live now, if you have a question, feel free to type it in the chat and I will get to it now before I close out. I'll just give you guys a couple minutes if you want to type in a comment or a question or a scenario, relationship scenario. The focus has been unplugging in social media, but it can be anything. And as I give a couple of minutes, let me remind you, now is the perfect time to unplug and journal. You all know I am a fan of journaling. It was essential in my love attraction journey. It assisted me in my process of getting back to myself, loving myself more, identifying what it is I really wanted in a power partner and a relationship. So I stand by my love attraction journal. Listen, you need it. Gives you the prompts you need to do meaningful self-work. It's on sale for $40 until midnight only. That was in celebration of me turning 40 because I turned 40 this month. So get your copy, okay? If you don't have it, or buy one for someone else. Spread the love in comments. Oh, I'm so scared of my journal. And this is Kala. Kala, do not be scared. It is going to help you to get past a lot of trauma, a lot of negative relationship patterns, a lot of negative ideals that you have about love. It's going to clear the roadblocks. That's what it did for me. It helped me to go back into my childhood and see what things from my childhood were showing up in partners I was picking as an adult. It was showing up in my behaviors as an adult in relationships. It was showing up in my ideas that I had about what love should be like, what a relationship should be like. So don't be scared. Open up that journal and post in the Love Attraction community. A good percentage of everyone in there has a journal. They've either finished it or they've at least started it. So I'm going to start doing some more content around journaling and assisting you with your process while you have the journal. And I am going to relaunch my course that is going to be Love Attraction Mastery, like the beginner. And it's going to include a step-by-step of the journal. Prompts. Every prompt in the journal is going to have a video where I go in depth about it, why it's important, what you should be considering when you're journaling, and encouragement in case, it's difficult. So, I'm sorry, I'm missing the comments. Oh, I see some questions. Okay. I have to really put some heavy thought into it. You should. So take your time. I know it's set up. It says 28 days. But literally take as long as you need with each prompt. Some prompts took me days, some took weeks, right? So that's okay. Monet, what do you do when love starts loving you and you're not ready yet? Love yourself more. Love yourself more, because you can never do too much of that. Love yourself more so you know yourself and know what areas could present as difficult when you are in a relationship. We need to spend more time with ourselves, and single season should be purposeful. It shouldn't feel lonely because you should be loving on yourself. You should be having a good time and enjoying your single season because, as us married people know, once you are married, you are not single. Like, you become one. You share everything with your spouse. So I think more needs to be said about enjoying singleness. It shouldn't be dreaded and we shouldn't rush into the next level of love. But when love starts loving you and you're not ready, you can either get ready or you can refuse the love. I would say, get ready. Get ready. That means love on yourself more. Get ready and just communicate. Communicate that, you got to take things slow. You're healing. You're doing your own self-work. And if they want to hang around until you're ready, good for them. If not, okay. Thank you, Pamela. Excellent job. Per always, thank you. That's exactly what I'm afraid of. Don't be afraid of it. I'm telling you. I still journal now. I have my power partner. I've done a lot of healing, but the biggest lesson I've learned is that love attraction is a continual journey. That's why I always talk about the journey. There's no end, because even when you attract your person, then you have to learn more about love with a person. You have to learn more about relationship, marriage, and that is a never-ending thing, right? So love attraction is the same. It's a never-ending thing. Okay? Don't be afraid. Be excited about it. I was too, and it has put me back into focus on myself. Yes. So Monet is my sister, for those who do not know. And I love the fact that she had every opportunity to get a sneak peek of the journal, to kind of pick my brain about it, and she has not. She has really respected the process. She purchased a journal. She is going through the process, and she asks her questions on the lives so everyone can benefit from them. She does not ask me on the side, and she's my sister. She could. So I really appreciate you for that, sis. And she's very supportive in the love attraction community too. She's always like showing you guys love, rooting for you, supporting you, sending you like positive words. So do that for each other more. I see a question, so let me go ahead and get to that because I don't want to keep you guys too long. So you think people should have multiple journals? I think it depends. I have multiple journals because I like to keep my things separate. I have one journal that is for my self-improvement. So it's my stuff with my coaches that I have, and it's anything that I'm doing for the benefit of like me, who I am as a mom, who I am as a wife, who I am as a coach, as a business owner. I have one for that. Then I have a wedding one. I'm getting married in February and a wedding is being planned. So, I have my journal about that where I'm manifesting there. I have a specific love one where I only do love things. However, you don't need to do that. I say you should think about how best you process things. How do you think? If you are a person that kind of jumps around from thing to thing, you might want one journal where you can just write freely. Or if you need structure, I recommend things like my journal. It's a guided journal, so it gives you structure and it literally gives you a roadmap to follow. There are plenty of guided journals. If you want something about finances, you just want something about deservingness, you want something about manifesting, you want something about business, about spirituality. They have every type of journal under the sun. So I think it depends. Sometimes I only have one. When I travel, I take a travel one with me and I do whatever I need to do while I'm on the road. I don't take all 7 of my journals, So I think it depends. And I need that. I'm assuming you need my journal. So if you need my journal, go to destinationdiana.com and there will be the link right at the top on the banner. And you better do it before 12 o'clock because the price goes back up to the regular price of $57.75. So go ahead and take advantage of that $40. And I see Will, going from negative to positive is a worthy road to travel. You're always coming through with your positive one-liners. Okay. As I grow, I find more about myself in love, and it's a true eye-opener. Yes. And you should. Like, growth should involve you learning about yourself. Like, throughout our entire lives, we have one person with us at all time, us, ourselves, right? And we're constantly evolving, growing, learning more things. So we have to continue to learn ourselves. Hey, what I liked 10 years ago is not what I like now. How I process anger and frustration is different today than it was 2 years ago. So you got to keep up with yourself, you know? ADD in the flesh. I cannot talk because I be all over the place. I mean, y'all probably get the best of me, like literally the best structured me, and you'll still see me bouncing all around. So I get it. I really want everyone to experience God and love beyond the past experiences and influences that's hampered it. Sis, I cannot even tell you how that is like my mission. My mission. I honestly say, like, you know, I'm the love attraction expert, right? I'm out here trying to teach people about attracting the love they truly desire and deserve. But at the end of the day, what you will really find is the love within yourself, right? And that comes from your relationship with God. We are of God, and God is love. That's why I always say that. It's so important. So yes, sis, that's it. That is exactly it. So thank you guys for being so interactive today. I really have a great time when I can like talk with you all. So remember, you got like 3 hours to go get that journal if you don't have it already, or if you have a friend that needs it. I really appreciated you guys. This was a great Friday night live. Remember that the late night lives happen Monday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday is always topic driven. So I'm basically teaching a lesson, but it's interactive. You can ask questions, you can submit your scenarios, you can submit your comments, and I read them and I share them, but I basically teach on a topic. So I present information and we can have like a live lesson. So that's on Monday. Then on Friday, it's Q&A. So it's the questions that I've received throughout the week. Usually they're going to be related to the topic that I covered on Monday, but it's still free for all. You see, I had a couple of questions that had nothing to do with unplugging or social media, and I still answered those. Depending on how long it takes me, I usually only do up to 5 questions, but if I get through them quicker, I can do more. So submit your question. You know, you can submit it anytime after the Monday live. So Tuesday through Friday, you can submit the questions. And I see a few comments. I don't want to miss you guys. So Monet, and you truly live it. Thank you, sis. That's why I always listen to you or needed your point of view. And I say that all the time. I only teach what I live. So I'm not here to judge anyone or look down on anyone's process, because I've had my own. And many of the things that I'm teaching them because they were lessons I had to learn. They were mistakes I made. So I'm definitely coming from a place of understanding and compassion, right? So that's why you can trust me. If there's anything that I share that I haven't experienced myself, I will tell you. It's from a coaching client that I heard it from. It's from a seminar that I went to. It's from a book that I read. I will always let you know that, but I only stand by and stamp what I actually live. Okay? So thank you for saying that, sis, because I pride myself on that. And thank you. Glad I caught you. I think that was my sis Carla. So I'm glad you caught it too. You guys set your reminders, okay? 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for my people in Texas, the Midwest, and for my people on the East Coast, my Boston peeps, my Baltimore peeps, my Atlanta peeps. Y'all is Eastern Standard Time. That's 10 p.m. So set your reminders, share these lives, help me grow the community. All right. So remember, God is love. We are of God. So attracting love should be easy, especially when you have me as your guide. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you.